Good evening, race fans. Welcome into Le Mans, where we take a look at a nice Google Earth overview of the track. No sirree, Bob, not running the bike layouts here tonight. Got these LMP2s, these 600 power rocket ships. We're going to fire them down the Mulsanne Straits. We're running the whole layout of Le Mans. Welcome into Stam Studio Network. My name is Sean Stam, and tonight I'm going to be bringing you some action here from this IRPAS International Pro-Am Racers LMP2. What is this, race 3 that we got out of just a 6-race season? Let's take a look at our starting grid here tonight. How about old Sam Bentley slapping it right there on the pole? Also starting on the front row, another Sam. This one's going to be Sam Cruz. Got Peter McDade starting there, P3. John Jennings, P4. Shane Wells. Lucas starting back here, P6. Accidentally bossed his qualifying efforts. Got Cody Durkin, as well as Michael Zigmont. Dan Fendick here also in the field here tonight. Cody Durkin as well starting P9 on our just only 9-car driver field here tonight. Once again, welcome into Stam Studio Network. We just have a short pace lap before we get things moving and grooving here from Le Mans. Once again, Sam Bentley, Samuel Cruz, our double Sam front row. I think we could possibly see something a little special here between these drivers. I know Sam Bentley came home at P2 just 1 week ago at VIR LMP2 race. Samuel Cruz coming home P2. No Alexander in the field here tonight, so we're going to see these guys do battle. It was just a 1,000th of a second separating these two drivers in qualifying, those two Sams. Oh, we could get into the nitty-gritty here tonight from Le Mans. We got also Peter McDade, who had a nice effort in qualifying. They're starting P3. That number 109, John Jennings, also right there with them. In P4, the driver number 1, Purple People Eater LMP2. Once again, these are just rocket ships on wheels flying through the French countryside. Strap in, folks. This really isn't your local kart race. It's about to get lights out here. Just 2 more chicanes to go. A long 40-minute Pro-Am race here tonight, and we might even have a competition yellow just halfway through. Well, one thing, we don't even have enough fuel to make it, so will we see that ever so important pit stop, or will we get our competition caution about halfway through? That is on the man himself, league owner, Mr. Dan Fendick. Speaking of him, we're gonna look at, oh, of course, it's that number, Fendi 327. It's gonna be hard to miss that very bright and vibrant paint scheme, but right now we're gonna get things going to our start-finish stretch here. Single file start. Here comes Sam Bentley. He's gonna lead us down into turn 1. Samuel Cruz right there behind Peter McDade. John Jennings driving our top 4 positions right now. Here we go, already a little too wide into the orange zone of turn 1. That's Lucas Haller already making a move. You can make moves into the orange zone, but you cannot make contact. That looks like Sam Bentley with a self-induced spin. Unfortunately, taking Samuel Cruz right there with them. What an eventful start here already from Le Mans, as we now have Peter McDade cycling out to the lead. You best believe we'll take 3,000 looks at that replay here. My goodness, it happened quick. Got into the Stam Studio Network drone shot here on this very, very quick replay. Here we go up the hill, heading into turns 1 and 2. This orange zone, you can pass these drivers, but you have to make sure there is room. And oh, what if it is netcode or contact between both Sams? Call that what you will. I'm going to keep my job up here in the booth and say that was a racing incident, as now here we have, working down our long straightaway here at Le Mans, Peter McDade. John Jennings makes his way up to P2. How about Lucas Haller starts as we are weaving, trying to get these tires up to operating temperatures and pressures heading into our first chicane here today. Oh, that was Michael Zigmont, who was trying to work the tires in down on the back straightaway. I do believe he's going to get a big slowdown from our first hairpin out of the Mulsanne Straits, as now we head towards our second hairpin. Let's hop on board to Shane Wells here, and he gets a massive run out of Michael there in front of him. Michael has to take this slowdown into the next chicane. Here we go, side by side. Shane Wells looks like he has the spot confirmed right now on. Oh, no, not even. Michael Zigmont's able to brake just a little bit harder within that braking zone. Shane still right where he started this race, now P5. Peter McDade still continuing to lead Lucas Haller right now. We see right now in YouTube chat. 6 of you, shouting every single one of you out, and let me know who your pick is to win this race, as now both Samuels have crashed out of the event. But remember, could have that competition caution a little bit later in the race, but now Lucas Haller tries to make a move down the outside. It does not stick. Lucas going to have to sacrifice what was a nice battle for that race lead back to Peter McDade, as we have another driver running off. That's Michael Zugmont once again. Here comes Sam Bentley already working his way back up through the track. That's that Dan Fendi here. Dan's already up a spot on this race start. Taking it away from Samuel Cruz is now Samuel Cruz, now back 7 seconds from this front pack. Hopping on board with Lucas Haller here as he continues to work on Peter McDade. He overcooked it into our last slower braking zone, but right now looks like he's going to sacrifice that corner entry, make the corner exits work. Lucas, he's still within our slipstream here of Peter McDade. We got John Jennings just a second behind this front battle. John 1.09, call it 1.10 seconds back now. Shane Wells with a nice run in AM, leading the class at the moment. Shane sitting P4 as he continues to hold off Michael Zugmont. Well, for the moment within the Porsche curves, I didn't think you could make a pass there. Michael's looking to try and make something happen in his purple people leader, number 911. Michael, unfortunately, not able to make the run here. As now we're going to hop and see what, well, it may not even be that long, because Michael continues to look down into our 2 final chicane to complete lap 1 here at Le Mans. It's still trying to make the front, one of these Michelins here on our LMP2, still trying to get a little heat in at those front tires as he gets right on the back bumper of that number 99. Here is Michael Zugmont still looking at taking away P4 from Shane Wells. About it, this is a fixed setup here tonight, and we can see this is what, the second or third time that we've seen sparks fly out from underneath these Le Mans Prototype 2 machines, and when that happens, you pretty much have no control over the car, over those bumps. When the car bottoms out, you lose all downforce on that rear diffuser, and it'll make you feel like you are you're up a certain creek without a paddle. We'll say that for just a few moments time at least, as here we go side by side. I don't think you want to be side by side to the Mulsanne Straight. I think you want to find a teamwork and make the dream work here, but we're going to do opposite of it. Here's some more side drafting here between Michael Zugmont, Shane Wells. This is Pro versus Am going into our first chicane here off of the Mulsanne Straight. This is Michael Zugmont looking down, and he's able to concede the spots right now for P4. Shane Wells actually losing 2 spots there. Sam Bentley also goes around, and that number 37 solidifies P5 in that pro driver LMP2, as well as Michael Zugmont solidifying P4 in his number 911. Battle for the race lead continuing to heat up between Lucas Haller, Peter McDade. Lucas now has the race lead as he's now down the inside, but he actually had the more kind of the race line is what you would call it there. And even Lucas with the racing line momentum there, not able. Actually, excuse me, Peter not able to hold off Lucas. He is still right within that slipstream. I don't think this is either of these racers to race to win here tonight, because we also have John Jennings and Michael Zugmont starting to approach this battle. Sam Bentley is also not too far behind, and if you're just now joining us, remember we have limited fuel here tonight as Shane Wells goes off the racetrack into the gravel. He goes, unfortunately, going to lose out on that position to Samuel Cruz. Shane now dropping to P6. Well, let's hop on board with Shane and see. It should just be a little bit too deep into the braking zone. Victor's corner, I like to call this one, it's a kind of a double brake, double apex corner, and well, yep, Shane just getting a little too deep there. I didn't even hear a front brake lockup, so nice for Shane to keep the tires on this LMP2, but unfortunately going to deposit gravel all throughout the racing line here, as well as lose quite a few spots for Mr. Shane. he'll get things moving and grooving. He's starting to reel in at Dan Fendick right now for the P7th spots. This is for the battle in AM lead, as we have right now drivers 1 through 6 are in our pro category. Right now, Dan Fendick in the lead of AM. How about that for the driver of the 327? Now got Shane Wells 1.2 seconds now behind, as Dan Fendick continuing to run away right now from Shane Wells. But Shane with his best lap time damn near 3 seconds faster than Mr. Fendi. We could possibly be seeing these two drivers start to duke it out here soon. I don't know how you guys have dealt with me throughout this whole season as well as this whole race. The battle for the race lead continues to heat up here, and I'm going to treat you guys to the sights and sounds of the racetrack. Enjoy a quick crank it up as well. I'll save it here just a second. Here's Lucas Haller, still in the lead of his Ferrari paint scheme LMP2, as we have a nice battle for side by side here. Now Sam Bentley's going to run wide. That's through turns 2 and 3. That's going to be a pretty bad slowdown, looking at 2-3 seconds after Sam Bentley continued to work his way up on our drivers here. That's Michael Zugmach down in the 911 as he runs a little wide. Now heading to the most important corner on this track. This one, you don't want to get too much brake input. You don't want to have too much throttle inputs, as you will also get a slowdown if you run just a little bit off track there on corner entry, as that sets up our long, what is this, a 5-kilometer straightaway I'm hearing? Mulsanne straight here at Le Mans. Oh. In the GT3s, it feels like an eternity. Here in the LMP2s, at least you head down, you get a little bit more top speed in these Le Mans Prototype 2 machines. Speaking of that top speed, let's take a look at it here. As you see on the bottom right of your screen, we'll hop on board with Sam Bentley and see just how fast he gets going. 170, 180, my goodness. And that is, of course, miles per hour, definitely not kilometers an hour. It'd be way more than that. We're going to push upwards of 200 into the braking zone. Check this out, 200 miles an hour, right back down to just 70 through the pretty important hairpin. You also want to make sure that you get your braking marks as well as where you get back on throttle. Get those marks down as well. You don't want to overcook the entry or the exit, as it's every little centimeter here is so important from Le Mans. It's such a huge track, but it can definitely bite you the second that you are not expecting it. Here we're going to run through the gravel that Shane Wells brought up last time by, and you see it just rooster tailing right now off the back ends of our Le Mans Prototype 2 machines. Looking at the back bumper of John Jennings right on Michael Zugmach as Michael continues to work his way up. He's right now +3 spots on the day as we see the sparks fly out the back end of the diffuser for John Jennings. If you're just now joining us, my name's Sean Stam here on Stam Studio Network. We're bringing you, now it's only 30 minutes left here in this Le Mans LMP2 race here. And, unfortunately, Samuel Cruz and Samuel Bentley both spinning out their lap 1, turn 1 in our orange flag zone. And we don't have enough fuel in these cars, so we could be getting that competition caution if racing gets a little spread out, or we could be getting those very, very important green flag pit stops. How much fuel do you take and how much fuel have you saved? It's going to come down to a game of tenths, if not thousandths, here from Le Mans. Now Lucas Haller cutting it back to our race lead. He's starting to pull away with a little bit of a gap over Peter McDade. Also, if you're just now joining us, I'm going to bring you another replay. It's how Lucas got this move done on Peter. This is one of our higher speed corners of the track here. Lucas, let's see how it's done. He's actually working down the outside, which turns down into the inside here in Victor's corner. As now Lucas, he's able to get the braking done. Oh no, there's contact between the two drivers, somehow able to save it. Man, I missed that one, and we're going to have to take another look at it because that was a pretty big moment in this race as now Lucas has worked his way back up into the lead. Let's take a look at our Stam Studio Network drone camera for this, what could have been a huge incident between our two race leaders. This was here just a lap ago, heading into Victor's corner here at Le Mans. If you know, you know. That's a shout out to you, Victor. And man, there you saw the contact there. Whether it was, I think it was possibly Peter just getting a little loose. Is now look at Lucas. He is pissed right now. He looks 3 wide. So you can definitely make it happen here at Le Mans. Track is wide enough for it, but he's going to lose some speed down that straightaway, not working with his fellow competitors. But say what you want about Lucas Haller, he is now in our race lead once again in that 2-second gap over Peter McDade. All right, I teased you about it earlier. I will treat you now to it. Crank this puppy up. Enjoy the sights, the sounds of the racetrack here on Stam Studio Network. I'll be right back with you up here. Alrighty, good. Crank it back down. Sean Stam is back up with you in the booth. And how about this? I don't think we're going to see that competition caution, or if we are, these drivers are possibly just preparing for it so they don't have to pit or don't choose to pit under the caution. I actually think that the pits are closed within our imaginary caution flag. So this is a little bit of a preventative measure here for Michael Zugmont as well as Sam Bentley. These drivers both with, man, some pretty good pace here tonight, and if we do see that competition yellow, this is just, once again, a little bit of a safety play as Lucas Haller, Peter, as well as John Jennings will not have enough fuel to make it. Speaking of our race leader, Lucas, should we bring up that track? Oh, okay, never mind. As we just talk about him, I mean, sorry about that. 4.7 second gap over Peter McDade, and that was it was a race-changing incident earlier in the race when we had contact between these two drivers. And if we take another look at it here, was it netcode or was it two drivers just going for the same bit of real estate on the racing circuit? This was, I believe, lap 2, lap 3 here at Le Mans. Look at Lucas now diving down the inside, what turns into the outside next corner. And here we go. This is the 109. Holding his line, it seems Lucas drifts up just a little bit. But once again, call that on who you will there. Is man, Lucas does an immaculate job to keep it out of that guardrail. That would have been a race ender. As here we go, Lucas saying, I got somewhere to be here, guys, sticking it 3 wide. Alrighty, so with those pit stops taking place of Michael Zugmont as well as Sam Bentley, we still have a really nice battle between Shane Wells and Dan Fendick on track. And I know Dan Fendick, right, he mentioned, oh my God, look at the sparks. Okay, he didn't mention that. What he did mention was make sure you have a drafting buddy there in our open qualifying session. Right now, he's got his drafting buddy out here in the race session. Shane Wells, driver of the 99, continuing to work with Dan Fendick as they have a 23-second gap to make up over Samuel Cruz. Possibly could not even be working with him. I think right now is just a really nice look at our battle for the AM race lead here. Now as we have Shane Wells, right as I mentioned it, he looks down the inside, possibly getting it Dan to just look in at that rear view camera just a little bit. Shane, he tries to cut down that driver's line heading into the turn, as we are still throwing rooster tails of gravel up off the ends of these Le Mans Prototype 2 machines. Right now we're looking at our best battle on track, and I don't think you get much better than this battle, because Dan Fendick, the league owner here in the IRPAS, LMP2, as well as GT3 races that go on here on Stam Studio Network. It's Dan versus Shane Wells, who is a driver full of positivity. That seems like week in, week out. No matter when I'm chatting with Shane, he is just all smiles, no matter what his day was been like. He'll drop everything for you there, and right now he's dropping everything to try to get back to the back bumper of Dan Fendick. Now looking down the inside, we are going to head down into the Porsche curves this time by not really where you want to see yourself too wide. Shane possibly going to look down the inside. Does he have what it takes? He's got a little bit of a run here on Dan Fendick as the sparks continue to fly out of the 327. That number 99 still thinking better of shoving it down too wide in the Porsche curves. We got Melanie here in YouTube chat, our first live chat here of the night. Melanie, I appreciate you coming out and joining us here for Mr. Dan Fendick's own International Pro-Am Racing Series. And I know what she's asking for here. I'll give it to you, the old woohoo! Halfway to go here at IRPAS LMP2. I'm going to treat you guys one more time, possibly even two more times, to crank it up. Enjoy, once again, the sights and sounds. Enjoy this some side-by-side battling here between Shane Wells and Dan Fendick, as now Shane Wells takes the spots over the 327. I'll be right back up with you here in the booth. Alrighty, crank it back down here, boys and girls. We got the old competition caution flying out on the speedway. Right now, we're just going to bunch all these drivers right back up, and real quick, this is pretty important because taking a look at the last pit stop that we had. Okay, well, maybe not. I remember that Michael Zugmont and Sam Bentley came down and pit for their fuel to end this race. Could we possibly be seeing a leapfrog effect this time? Or does Lucas Haller and Peter McDade have a little trick up their sleeves as well? We're just going to have to find out here on SSN. Be sure to grab yourself that drink, grab yourself that snack. You're not going to want to leave your seat these last 19 minutes of the race. I bet you're loving this right now if you're Sam Bentley, who is running in P8 after that incident. Lap 1, turn 1 of the race. You're right. I bet you're hating it with all your heart if you're Lucas Haller. That 4.5 second gap just shriveled down to, well, nothing, as he's going to have a very, very fast Peter McDade on his back bumper. And taking a look at those last laps, looks like Peter was actually reeling in Lucas there a little bit, as Lucas could have definitely been slowing and woeing it down because he had nothing really to fight against. Or we could be seeing Peter McDade with actually just a little bit more pace compared to Lucas. We're going to get this race fired right back up here for you in just a few moments' time on Stam Studio Network. My name is Sean Stam. If you like what you are seeing, be sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe. Hey, if you even hit the bell, it'll let you know every time I do go live. And if you don't like what you see or hear, or whatever it may be, that's okay too. Just let me know down there in YouTube chat below, and I'll be sure to fix it for you. John Jennings going to be running P3. Samuel Cruz will start this restart P4. Shane Wells, Dan Fendick, Michael Zugmott, Sam Bentley is all caught back up to the pack here. We should just be a few moments away from the green flag dropping for the second time at Le Mans. Well, real quick, I really do. I'd like to shout out Dan for this, because it was starting to get a little bit of a gap between Lucas and Peter, but now with another single file restart just at about halfway to go in this race, it brings us a lot more racing action, and we're just once again going to have to see how things cycle out on those fuel cells. Is Lucas, Peter, John, Samuel, Shane, and Dan right now, are they all saving enough fuel under this little competition caution flag right here, or well, we have to see these drivers pit a little bit later on in the race. We should have 2 chicanes to go until our green flag is out. Right now we're hopping on board with Peter. This is exactly what this driver sees. Actually, I'll take that back. This is exactly what the driver sees. And actually, let's do something a little special here. We're going to hop on board with Samuel Cruz. This restart should be coming to it here with out of these 2 chicanes. Samuel, he's going to start P4. This is P4 overall as well as in the race. We're going to hop on board and see what Samuel sees. They're coming to our green flag restart here. Just 16 minutes to go here from Le Mans. Appreciate everybody joining in here on YouTube land. Drop that like, subscribe if you are new, and here we go. Green flag is just a few moments away from this from our first restart here tonight. It's a little bit of a delayed start as we are now on Samuel Cruz. We're going up and through the gears. Another orange flag zone is going to be through turns 1, 2, and 3. You can pass. Just be sure that you be just a little bit careful for those racing competitors. There's a lot more of a gap this time between our first and second driver. Shane Wells is right there with them. We could still even be pacing. I don't know why, though, as Cody Durkin is now off the racing circuit. So we're not waiting for anybody here. Well, it seems that we are. Lucas Haller still continuing to hold up our pack. Peter McDade, P2. John Jennings out here, P3. Samuel Cruz, how about this? He works his way back up to P4 after starting in P2. Shane Wells, Dan Fendi, Michael Zugmott, Sam Bentley are first through 8th drivers here tonight. And here we go, finally have the green flag out. We waited till we got to the Mulsanne straight. Don't blame that decision once a bit. Here we go, 2 by 2, heading for our race lead, as well as 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Here comes John Jennings, Samuel Cruz going side by side, as well as Peter McDade. Lucas Haller also side by side. Now door quarter clear for Peter. Gets the jump on Lucas on that restart as he now heads into our first chicane on the Mulsanne straight here on lap 7. Just 5 minutes to go here from Le Mans. Are we coming to the white flag lap? Next time by, we very well should be, as we continue to look side by side down our straightaway as we head into another sort of chicane here. Once again, Lucas Haller, Peter McDade. How many times have we said it this time tonight? We're going to look side by side. Door quarter runs are even for these two. Lucas trying to side draft here a little bit as here comes Samuel Cruz. Has a nice run on these 2 front drivers. Lucas getting a little deep into the second chicane, but able to make it work. And now we have John Jennings going off the track as he looks to be wide. Contact with 2 other drivers. We have spins. Dan Fendick able to get through it. Shane Wills involved, unfortunately for this driver, as well as Michael Zugmont with the pace that he had. We're going to jump back up to our race lead as we are damn near looking 3 wide here from Le Mans. Oh my goodness, some possible contact here from Samuel Cruz. Samuel down, now continuing inside. There is contact between our 2 race leaders. Peter McDade to the race lead. Sam Bentley, Lucas Haller, Samuel Cruz now fighting for the second, third, and fourth. That competition caution changed everything in just the shortest amount of time. Here comes Sam Bentley now back up to P2, 0.3 of a second behind our race leader. Here comes Lucas Haller, probably has a fire under his chair right now. These are rocket ships strapped to these prototype machines. We got 600 horsepower we're working with, and when you are fighting for this race lead, here comes Peter McDade playing some Super Bowl-esque defense on Sam Bentley. Sam with so much pace here tonight. His best lap time was a 3:43. He's trying to chase down the best lap time of Peter McDade right now, a 3:41. Goodness gracious, we are going to get down into the nitty-gritty here tonight, and these braking zones, they're not even close. You screw up and you are just doing donuts in the gravel, it seems. Here comes John Jennings. This is in and out just like a fast food order. The clean pit work, it has been clean for our drivers that did pit, and well, will we see enough fuel remaining in these fuel tanks for our drivers? We should be approaching the white flag lap here from Le Mans. Just 1 lap to go. Peter McDade, he actually faked me out. I thought he was going to head down into pits this time. Does not. Looks like he knows he has enough fuel to make this to the end. Or does he? It is a long way around the track if you do run out of fuel. It should be white flag lap coming out this time by. Just 1 lap to go here from Le Mans. Are you liking what you're seeing? Well, I definitely am. It could definitely be. Oh, excuse me. This is, I made the same mistake last night. This is a 40-minute race instead of that 30, so we are coming to minute 28 out of 40, just 12 minutes to go. Samuel Cruz, John Jennings now heading into the pits. And right now, we are seeing Michael Zugmont, Sam Bentley. Remember, these drivers pit a little earlier in the race. Now they're definitely going to get the cycle by. There will be some, I think, some discussions regarding this situation after the race or in our next driver's briefing, but you can't count them out. It's not against the rules, as we still have Peter McDade, Lucas Haller out here up front. Do these drivers have enough fuel to continue to lead laps as well as possibly come away with the race win, second and third here tonight from Le Mans? I'm going to treat you guys one more time to a crank it up, as I don't know how you can listen to my voice for this long on hand. My God. Treat you guys to these engine sounds once again here as the battle for the lead continues to heat up, as here comes Lucas with another slipstream run. I'll be right back up with you here in the booth. Alrighty, go ahead, crank it back down. Sean Stam is back up here in the booth, and I don't know how there's going to be anything left of these diffusers after this race. They've been grinding across the racing surface just about 30 minutes now, and the sparks are flying out of these LMP2 machines. It's been so much fun to watch. And Goodness, we got Ted Wilbur here in chat, Leanne, Terry, as well as Melanie. Welcome in, and I appreciate you guys joining in for these final 9 minutes to go left in this 40-minute race in the International Pro-Am Racing Series LMP2 night race, or excuse me, night series, call that. Definitely in the daytime here tonight. And how about Sam Bentley, that mystery machine LMP2? That might win paint scheme of the race here tonight. So let me know your thoughts there in the old live YouTube chat, but it's definitely, it's going to be hard to miss that 37. Is that Lucas Haller? I mentioned this earlier. This is something that, well, you were either thinking in 4D earlier for Michael Zugmont, as well as that was one of the Sams. Correct me if I'm wrong. But pitting in front of the competition yellow, and then the pits close during the competition yellow, and then they reopen afterwards. Where right now it looks like pitting right before that these pits closed was the way to go, as Michael now gets his way back up to P4. Got the purple something there on the what does that say? Hang on here, I got you, Michael. The purple rain. There we go. As I flash to my big screen here. Allows me to see a little bit more pixels. That number 911 is having a great run here tonight. Shane Wells, who had a great run here tonight, while he makes his way down into the pits, going to make his fuel stop, as there's definitely not enough fuel on these prototype machines to make it. Well, just 7 minutes to go. That's quite a long ways to go. As man, there are so many turns. This track is the longest, if not the longest, here in the iRacing universe, not including the Nürburgring, of course. Peter McDade, liking what I'm seeing out of this hot pink number 109. He's got the mystery machine, Scooby-Doo, Shaggy, and what's the dude's name? I know we got Velma. Fred, there you go. They're all back in it, trying to make the horsepower work, possibly 601 horsepower on this mystery machine, trying to reel in Peter McDade. I think the reason I say that is I think delivery just adds that much more pace to our prototype machine. And if you join us here tomorrow from the IRPAS GT3 series at Le Mans, I will be racing. I'll be behind the wheel supporting that Stam Studio Network paint job on my Porsche 911. And come on, guys, please come watch that. I think Christopher will be putting on that show once again, also in the booth with Robert, if he can make it out. It's going to be pretty fun to watch. It's quite... This race, we really haven't had too many drivers in it, but there's still been side-by-side racing. Speaking of some side-by-side, how about Dan Fending now showing the pace, leading the AM class still, as he got Michael Zugmont with quite a bit of damage on his left front bumper for Michael. Is, you know, I say damage, but matter of fact, going to make it stick on the outside there on Dan Fendick. Call that Michael to overall P3 position. Normally, I'd like to interview the top three, but I think tonight it might just be, top three in both Pro and Am. But with our little bit of a lower driver count here, it might just be top three overall. And speaking of the top three, really top two right now, Sam Bentley continuing to close the gap as he now looks down the inside, looking for the race lead of Peter McDade. Possibly has it here as these drivers going to look door, quarter, runs are even, separated by a tenth. Now clear for Sam Bentley. Oh, I'm showing Samuel Cruz with a huge incident. We'll take a replay of it here after we head out of the Porsche curves and start lap. Would be lap 10 here, so we'll be coming to 2 laps to go, depending on when we do cross that start-finish line. And I apologize for my, I had the all small screen pulled up, and I was just blanking on it earlier, thinking 30 minutes instead of 40. It's just going to keep you on the edge of your seat just a little bit more, as we could possibly be looking to our white flag lap. We'll have to keep an eye on Barney the Flagman, as there goes Peter McDade now into the pits. Sam Bentley, this was our driver, as well as Michael Zugmont. Man, Sam, he made this work. This was, call this a mathematician at work even. This driver pit before our competition caution, and, well, looking like he could possibly have enough fuel in it, but as well as Michael Zugmont. Michael also pit on our last, before the competition caution came out. We don't have the white flag lap out right now, so Michael could be taking a look at that fuel black box and saying, hey, I don't have enough to make this thing. Sam Bentley is on a gamble right here, as he will be coming to the white flag lap this time by, but the track is, I mean, it's about as long as a city here at Le Mans. We have to shut down the whole city, put these roads to racing use here, and man, this is going to get down to who has saved just enough fuel, as that was a splash and dash for Zugmats out of the pits here. He's looking at reeling in Lucas Haller, as Lucas also coming out of pit road 3 seconds in front. Peter McDade now 2.5 seconds behind of Michael Zugmats. Here comes another pro driver, John Jennings, and that number 1 Purple People Eater, Dan Fendick. I wonder if this driver also has to make his way down pits road. It'll be interesting to see, as we just have 2 laps to go here from Le Mans. Sam Bentley leading us. It could be on a little bit of a Vegas strategy, gambling on his fuel run. Lucas Haller P2, Michael Zugmats, Peter McDade, John Jennings, Dan Fendi rounding out our top 6. How about this? Shane Wells now coming into the pits, as well as Samuel Cruz. Definitely going to, this will cool down those, I believe there's Michelin racing tires here tonight, but, well, it's definitely not what you want. God, that was a super long stop. You have to make your way all the way down pit road, as well as actually take the fuel into the car. Shane Wells coming out in front of Samuel Cruz, and I can tell you why Samuel Cruz didn't head it out of pit road, because, well, this was a little bit of a lick here on a wall for Samuel Cruz. Oh, after his pit stop. Happens here for the 25. We'll take a look heading into turns 1 and 2. Cooler tire temperatures and pressures. Around he goes 1, 2, 3, 4 times there. Holy cow. We're going to hop on board, and was that just tire spin gone wrong for Mr. Cruz? Pretty aggressive with that steering wheel on, headed towards the right, but you would think there's enough grip in these, what are vacuumed, sealed to the track LMP2 machines, and unfortunately, man, around the 25 goes there on off of pit road exit. That's going to give the lead to Sam Bentley, and once again, does this driver even have enough fuel to make it to the end of this race? Lucas Haller still P2, Michael Zugmats P3, Peter McDade P4, John Jennings P5. Our leader in AM right now, damn near a minute in front of Shane Wells. How about it? We could be talking, or wow, if we have AM interviews even, we'll have to see after the race. Congratulations right now to Dan. I don't want to speak too soon, as we still have 1 more lap to go here from Le Mans, but it's going to be hard to lose a minute to Shane Wells. Sam Bentley coming to complete lap 10, coming to lap 11, and if my mathematic equations are correct, there we go, math, definitely my strong suit, definitely my major, should be the white flag lap coming out this time by just 1 lap to go here for Sam Bentley. Lucas Haller making his way around. Damn, he's just now exiting the Porsche curves. My goodness, the gap between these 2 drivers. Lucas 35 seconds here behind Sam Bentley. And this is the gamble working. Remember, does Sam even have enough fuel in his race car to make this strategy work? Well, he's got quite a long ways to go around Le Mans. I don't want to throw any numbers out here because I will get quoted on it, or I just don't want to get quoted on it. But it's a besides the Nürburgring, I do believe this is our longest laser scan track here in the iRacing universe. As now, I believe Lucas Haller is heading down pit road. He is in his number 9 Ferrari LMP2, going to take just a quick splash and dash here. This is really jumbling things up here, coming to the end of our 40-minute IRPAS race. Sam Bentley making his way around the first chicane here, as he should just have, well, he's got 1 more chicane to go on this Mulsanne straight, and then he's got about 3/4 left of the track here at Le Mans. Every time I see this shot here, it takes me right back. I mean, goodness, the Garage 56, the NASCAR competing back in, what was that, 2023 in Le Mans when we had the Garage 56 entry. And thinking of that, it reminds me right back to the old Cup versus Cup. That's Porsche Cup versus NASCAR, my own league that I put on here. And, well, unfortunately, we've now moved to GT4 versus NASCAR, and Season 3 is under construction. We'll have to see what ends up coming our way there, if anything, because Driver counts, it's hard to definitely keep up with, and we started struggling with it towards the end of the season in GT4 versus NASCAR. But if that's something you're interested in, or any car versus NASCAR, well, let me know down in the YouTube live chat or comments below. Speaking of let me know, as we take a nice look at Sam Bentley's Mystery Machine leading here, should be our white flag lap. Any of you drivers that do some real life racing, please let me know if you'd like vinyl stickers for your real life. Either you run dirt oval, you run oval, shoot, you even run some road course racing. Let me know and I got you completely free of charge. It's a little shout out to me as it is of you. So I'd like to fill up that sponsor space on your race car. Little affiliation work, if you will, here on Stam Studio Network. Also, I was chatting with Dan here before the race. Sounds like Cotton Bowl Speedway out here in Page, Texas, going to have me down this Friday night. Going to talk with the track owner, talk with the social media owners, and see what I can bring to them behind the scenes. Whether it's just a drone shot, or whether it's me helping with a few directing and producing things there at, once again, Cotton Bowl Speedway down there. It's about Bastrop, South Texas. Little dirt track action. Been there on the fan side of myself a few times. Had the sunglasses on at night, as you don't want to get the dirt up in those eyeballs. But this time I'll be going into doing some work here this weekend. That's next coming up Friday. That will be pretty cool. I'll have to share some footage with you guys here. But right now we're going to have to share some footage of Sam Bentley coming across the checkered line, going to make this all official here tonight in the International Pro-Am Racer Series LMP2 NITE Series. Sam Bentley, congratulations on coming away with the win, as that's going to continue to work your way up through the points. Man, you were already up there with them, as we'll take a look at those points right after all of our drivers make the checkered flag. Here comes Michael Zugmott. Will take P2 on the night to make this all official. This is both overall as well as pro category. Congratulations on your P2 finish, Michael, as he takes a bite out of that sausage curb, going to want some mustard with that. Peter McDade will finish up P3 in the pro category. So does John Jennings, also in pro. He'll bring it home P4, right now 9 seconds behind Peter McDade. Congratulations on our front-running pro drivers. Got Lucas Haller will finish P6. Samuel Cruz finish P8. How about Dan Fendick here tonight, taking away the AM class victory? Shane Wills P7. That will make P2 in class, as well as Cody Durkin, not able to finish the race here tonight. Takes the DNF, but will finish P9 overall. Congratulations to Dan Fendick winning the AM class. That's definitely something a little bit special, and that will help propel you a little bit further up into the points. Congratulations to all of our drivers competing here tonight on Stam Studio Network. Stick with us, and you best believe I will bring you those driver interviews of the top 3 tonight. I will be right back with you up here in the booth. Welcome back up here into Stam Studio Network, where I am in Victory Lane. Sam Bentley, you got yourself a copy, man.
Yeah, hello.
Man, Sam, that was some nice. I think I know what happened here. You'll have to correct me if I'm wrong, as math is not my strong suit, but you pitting there before that competition caution, and it looks like you were gambling maybe on that fuel tank. It looks like you had just enough to get back to the across the finish line.
Yeah, since the new rule was created, I found a flaw in it that would give me an advantage. This was the first time I got to use it. I can see Michael had the exact same idea and put the exact same lap as me.
Yes.
But it worked out quite well for me. I think Michael got a black flag, so
Wow, even with the black flag, he still finishes up P2. And I swear, right as I saw you both dive into the pits, I was like, okay, this is definitely a strategy play. And other than the strategy, Sam, as well as your pace here tonight, goodness, 40-second gap I'm showing. Was it the practice? It was obviously fixed setups here tonight. What brought you the pace here in this LMP2?
I've done a lot of laps at Le Mans, not particularly like in preparation for this, but just like in general, 24-hour races, IMSA races, and I just really enjoy the track. So I think just having a lot of fun all the time.
Well, Sam, congrats on your race win here tonight. Is there anybody who'd like to shout out who makes this all possible for you to come out and race with us?
Possibly, I haven't reviewed it yet, but Sam Cruz and Netcode for giving me a good comeback race.
Oh, that's a good one. Alrighty, Sam, I'm going to let you go. I bet you're sweating your butt off right now. Congrats again on your race win.
Thank you.
Hey, there we go. I needed that. Whoever did that, much thank you for that. Michael Zugmans here in Victory Lane, looking like P2 on the night. Michael, you got yourself a copy.
Copy.
Alrighty, man. Well, you were on the same strategy there as Sam, and did you have to pit one more time there at the end of the race? Correct me if I'm wrong, but walk us through your race, man.
Yeah, I was pitting because I got many incidents.
Oh no.
Yeah, I spun. I crashed with I don't know, with John or someone else. I don't know. After the rest.
Oh, I think that was Shane. We'll take a look at the replay real quick, but I'm sorry. Keep going.
Yeah, strategy very good. Yeah.
Oh, there was pretty much nowhere for you to go if we're both talking about the same incident here, Michael. But you came back up, even with what Sam was saying, a black flag. You still finished P2. Goodness, the pace that you had in your LMP2 here tonight. Who are you shouting out that makes this possible for you?
Me.
Hey, there you go. I like that.
Yeah.
With that pace, it's pretty hard not to shout yourself out. An unfortunate incident that you do get caught up in there, Michael. Congrats again on your podium finish here tonight, and hopefully see you right back up here tomorrow night.
Thanks.
Woohoo! Alrighty, we're gonna cut to Peter McDade, our final driver interview spots here on the night. Peter, do you have yourself a copy?
I do have a copy, Sean. Thanks for having me.
Oh, Peter, thanks for jumping up in here. And we saw you leading some laps here earlier on. You're going to finish the race, the final driver interview spots, our final podium spots. Peter, kind of briefly walk us through your race.
Yeah, so the race was going good. Everything was kind of copacetic. There was a few bump and grinds with Lucas, and we were having fun out there on the track if you caught us. And so we were pretty much just rubbing and racing as we always do. The yellow flag kind of took us by surprise, but the pack got back up together. And sadly, I wasn't able to pit before then like my competitors, so I didn't have that 40-second advantage after the yellow.
No
but
kidding.
my VMAX was pretty good because I was hitting about 201 before the first chicane, and overall the only problem I had was my front tire was getting up to about 48 degrees Celsius. So I mean, overall it wasn't too bad with the track being cold and only using about 1.8 to 1.9 gallons a lap, but I was having fun out there, man.
Well, Peter, I know you were having fun out there on track. I was having probably even more fun up here watching you do battle with Lucas.
Oh,
Kind
yeah.
of lap in and lap out. You and Lucas were, it was so much racecraft between the two because, I mean, the room would be left and then you get right back on the back bumper on the straightaways. A little back and forth action.
Yeah, I basically wanted to defend, so I would choose my lane. I'd basically have a half or 2/3 of a car length on the inside, so he would have to kind of choose, okay, do I want to take the outside? And follow the draft through the corner, or do I want to try and dive? And usually people choose to follow the draft and try and pass in the straight, and that's exactly what Lucas and I were doing. We were just trying to kind of, keep it together, keep the fast laps going, kind of feed off of each other and get as far ahead as we could so those pits later on down the line wouldn't affect us too much. But that strategy went outside the window, so.
Yeah, pretty quick, and by pretty quick, I mean 40 seconds pretty quick. But,
Oh, yeah.
Man, regardless, Peter, congrats on your podium finish here tonight. Is there anybody you'd like to shout out that makes this all happen?
Yeah, Sean, I definitely like to thank the sponsors. We got Operation Motorsports, my primary sponsor. I'm a beneficiary with them, as you know. We got AMG Petronas, who I pit with every so often. And, of course, I can't forget my primary sponsor, which will be Simicube. Thank you so much for giving me this awesome gear at such a big discount. We really appreciate all those guys over there.
Well, Peter, we appreciate you, and hopefully you have a great rest of your afternoon/night here tonight. That's about going to do it for the driver interviews. If anybody has any last-minute things they'd like to add, feel free now. If not, I got to make my way through TSA, and I'm headed back home here. Got the rest of the night off on Stam Studio Network. Woohoo! Got the sound effects in there. Whoever does that, man, I got to hire you. Be with me every
That'd be
race.
me, buddy. As always, Sean.
There you go, Peter. Congratulations on the top 3 once again here tonight from Le Mans in the International Pro-Am Racer Series, LMP2 Series. My name's been Sean Stam up here on Stam Studio Network. You drivers, you race fans, every single one of you, have a great, great rest of your night. Thanks, guys.
Nice.